Dale Carnegie's The Essential Techniques for Handling People is a treasure trove of insights for anyone looking to hone their communication and leadership skills. This book speaks to business owners, managers, and professionals from various fields, offering practical lessons to enhance both personal and professional success. Carnegie's courses have long been renowned for boosting individuals' speaking abilities, leading to significant improvements in their lives. Take, for instance, Patrick J. O'Hare from Ireland. Before attending Carnegie's course, he struggled with self-expression. However, his speaking skills flourished after the course, positively impacting his earnings. Similarly, banker Godfrey Meyer overcame his speaking difficulties and found success through the same training. Carnegie firmly believes that every person harbors untapped potential, which can be unlocked with the right techniques. The book and its associated courses aim to help people discover and utilize this potential. Effective communication and leadership skills, particularly in the workplace, are central themes in Carnegie's work. He emphasizes that criticism often puts people on the defensive, complicating communication. The book highlights how Abraham Lincoln avoided criticism, choosing instead to understand others, thus achieving success in leadership. It underscores that criticism tends to make people justify themselves rather than improve. A powerful example of this is Lincoln's unsent letter to General Meade. Instead of criticizing Meade's mistakes, Lincoln chose to view the situation from Meade's perspective. This approach prevented the resentment and negative consequences criticism could have caused, helping Meade maintain his potential for future success. Satisfying people's desire to feel important is one of the keys to managing them. Charles Schwab excelled in this by offering genuine compliments and appreciation, motivating those around him. Schwab's secret to success lay in valuing and encouraging people, a principle that applies not just in business but in everyday life. Everyone enjoys receiving sincere praise or appreciation, which can motivate those around us and strengthen our relationships. Carnegie's book stresses the importance of focusing on what others want. It begins with Ralph Waldo Emerson's reminder that we can learn something from everyone. The key to effective communication is understanding what people want and striving to fulfill those desires. Just like using worms that fish like as bait to influence people, we must focus on topics that interest them. Carnegie shares a story of how he persuaded a hotel manager not to raise the rent by considering the hotel's interests rather than imposing his own desires. Similarly, finding a solution to a child's reluctance to eat by leveraging their love for bicycles exemplifies how considering others' desires helps build better relationships. Learning and applying knowledge are among the most powerful tools in our lives. It's not enough to simply read books. We must integrate their lessons into our lives. Highlighting important ideas or taking notes in the margins can facilitate learning and retention. For instance, a manager at an insurance company keeps his knowledge fresh by reviewing agreements monthly. This approach ensures that information remains ingrained. We can apply the same principle to personal development books by regularly revisiting and reviewing highlighted sections. Becoming a more likable and effective person in daily life involves a few simple yet powerful techniques. First, showing genuine interest in others is crucial. As Roman poet Publilius Cyrus said, "When people feel that we are interested in them, they reciprocate that interest." This forms the foundation for strong bonds between people. Secondly, a smile can have a tremendous impact. A smile is more valuable than any outfit, and as Charles Schwab noted, is worth $1 million. It conveys the message, "I like you and you make me happy." For example, a businessman on the New York Stock Exchange discovered the significant difference smiling made in both his professional and personal life. Smiling not only improves relationships, but also enhances one's own happiness. One of the keys to successful human relationships is valuing the other person's name. People derive great joy from hearing their own names. Remembering someone's name can positively affect your relationship with them. For instance, jotting down the name of someone you just met and reviewing it several times shows respect for that person. Being a good listener is another crucial aspect of effective communication. People enjoy interacting with those who listen to them and value what they say. During a conversation, you can encourage the other person to talk by asking questions about their interests. This makes them feel valued and helps build a deeper connection with you. The golden rule of treating others as you would like to be treated yourself is a cornerstone of human relationships. We all wish to be respected and appreciated, but we won't receive these feelings unless we extend them to others. A sincere thank you or a heartfelt compliment can brighten someone's day, much like the smile that appears on a police officer's face when thanked for their prompt and courteous response. These small yet meaningful gestures have a profound impact on people. For example, politely addressing a waiter who brought the wrong order can enhance service quality. In contrast, a harsh and critical attitude only increases tension. Disputes often result in both parties becoming more entrenched in their positions. Therefore, it's best to avoid arguments. Even if you win an argument, you lose by hurting the other person's pride, which can damage relationships in the long run. Insurance companies, for instance, constantly remind their staff not to argue, as arguments fail to persuade people. Years ago, a man named O'Hare, known for his argumentative nature, became one of New York's most successful salesmen by adopting a more tolerant and understanding approach toward his customers. Another example is Franklin, who was isolated by his friends in his youth due to his argumentative nature. Over time, he abandoned this habit and became more open to others' opinions, choosing to listen and understand rather than impose his own views. A challenging experience with a customer taught me the importance of listening and understanding their feelings. My client was quite upset, but by approaching them calmly and respecting their thoughts, I left the door open for resolution, allowing us to continue our business relationship. As Jesus said, reconciling is always healthier than arguing. Another important lesson is the power of acknowledging mistakes. In New York, while walking my dog off leash, I encountered a police officer. By admitting my mistake and apologizing, I diffused the situation. This principle is also beneficial in the business world. As an advertiser, admitting my mistake to a client calmed them and strengthened our relationship. These situations demonstrate the necessity of promptly acknowledging errors. Dale Carnegie's book emphasizes ways to understand and influence others' thoughts. The first key idea is to make the other person feel that their ideas are valued. For instance, when a car salesman asks a customer how the car could be improved, it positively influences the customer's decision. People become more cooperative when they feel their ideas matter. The second important point is to empathize and see things from the other person's perspective. An example is someone who, instead of lecturing children about the dangers of lighting fires in the forest, talks to them about the risks and how they can enjoy other activities, leading to a more positive outcome. The third idea is to show sympathy and appeal to people's emotions. This lowers their defenses and fosters more open and constructive communication. For example, acknowledging a mistake and thanking the other person for their understanding helps repair and strengthen relationships. In The Essential Techniques for Handling People, Dale Carnegie focuses on motivating and leading people. One notable example from the book highlights Schwab's method of motivating workers at his factory. Instead of issuing direct orders and threats, Schwab used the spirit of competition to motivate workers. One day, he asked about the amount of steel produced and wrote it on the floor. This sparked natural competition among the workers, increasing productivity. This method taps into people's instincts to excel and showcase their worth. Another important point is the necessity of being cautious when offering criticism. Delivering criticism indirectly can prevent people from becoming defensive. For instance, Coolidge praised an employee before offering criticism, making it more likely to be received constructively. This approach makes it easier for people to accept their mistakes. Finally, the most important lessons from this book are: before correcting others' mistakes, it's effective to mention your own. No one likes taking orders, so making requests instead of giving orders improves cooperation. Protecting others' pride is crucial in relationships. Encouraging people to enjoy their tasks boosts their motivation. In marriage, love and respect are vital. Small gestures and expressions of interest strengthen relationships. By applying these simple yet effective methods, we can create significant improvements in our social interactions and leadership skills.